Okay, boss. Next, partitioning of info cubes. So there's another mechanism through which you can improve the performance of the queries. See, what you call this? There's two options here. Let's say I've got 3 years of data. You're pushing into 3 different cubes. That is, you call it as physical partitioning. Logical partitioning of data into multiple targets. But apart from this, I can load all this data into one cube and partition the cube itself. Physically, I can partition the fact table in all this course based on month wise or fiscal year period wise. That is called as partitioning of cube. But what are the partitions you're creating? It is actually creating an E table, not in the F table. F table is by default partitioned on request number. And what are the partitions you create? You're basically creating it on the E table, not the F table. Okay. And we can partition only on calendar year month or fiscal year period. And only when the backend database is when we cannot partition if the backend database is SQL Server. Okay. There's issues in it. Now, how you partition is very simple. Now, let's say the slow in the system. ఖాళీ ఉంది సిస్టమ్. Okay, so I've got the cube. Okay, so how do I partition my cube? Right click on the cube and say what? Change extras menu, DB performance, and kilo option is what? DB partitioning. We go to extras menu and say DB partitioning. Then even though I've used all the time characteristics, it does enable this radio buttons only for these two. Means you can do partitioning either on calendar year month or fiscal year period. So select calendar year month and say what? 01.2015 03.2015. I'm just giving only for 3 months here. So how many partitions does it create? And it creates 4 partitions. And all the transactions before Jan in one, and Jan to Feb in one, Feb to March in one, and anything apart from March will be one more. Greater than March data will be in one more. Max value not possible. Just say okay. Format. And activate. So it creates partitions for which table? F table or E table? And I can see those. My cube name is Y sales. I can go to SC14 E and Y sales. That's my which table is this? E table. And then you see a button what? Storage parameters. Now you get close out this. What is here? Partition expand. Partition. What does it mean? There are 4 partitions. Expand first one. Less than Jan, less than Feb, less than March, and less than max value. Like this, it creates 4 partitions. It's creating partitions on E table, not the F table. Okay.
Where did we say that we wanted it monthly?
I said extras menu, DB performance, data, but I said month wise here. Then gave the range. Okay, let's say Can I create copy straight away like this? Okay. Again, I've got another cube. Sorry, another with all the time period 6. I'm creating another cube. But this time I have a different requirement. I would like to partition it on month wise, but I want 3 months into one block. Not month, quarterly I want. So I'm saying like 0, 1 to what? Complete year I gave for 1 year, but I want 3 months into one block. So I would say maximum number of partitions 4. If I say 6 months into one block, it's max partitions 2. ఏం పట్టుకోతే 13 వెళ్ళిపోతాయి, but I'm restricting it to that. So it starts merging them, formulates partition for 1 quarter. Actually ఎన్ని క్రియేట్ అయితే 4 అంటే 5 వస్తాయి. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one is what? Less than March, June, September, December, max value. Okay, boss? Like this you can control for 6 months, anything you want. Do you know what is difference between calendar year month and fiscal year period? Calendar year month, it load month and year. It represents month in a calendar year. Same other, each month in a financial year is represented with fiscal year period. If my let's say now, if it says 01.2015, that is Jan 2015 calendar year. If my financial year is from, let's say, from April to March, okay. When I say first period of 2015, I would refer to what? April. That is so. Each month in a financial year is fiscal year period. Each month in a calendar year is calendar year. So you can do partitioning either on 2. Okay, good. Next question. Now, once the partitions are created on the cube, can I change those partitions? That's the point. Can I repartition the cube again? Extras menu, deep performance. వెళ్ళిపోయింది ఒప్పుకోకూడదు. ఒప్పుకోకూడదన్నా. చూడు ఒప్పుకోలేదు, అది అవుతాను కానీ లోపల మాత్రం మారలే. Did it change it to 11? So you cannot really repartition my cube once it is done, okay? But from the latest versions, they have given us a flexibility of repartitioning also from BI 7.x. If you go to what? How do we repartition? Go to administration. There is a menu. What is it? Repartitioning in, and specify the cube what you want. So do you want attach partitions, merge and complete repartitioning? Complete అంటే మొత్తం completely new partitions you want to create. I want attach new part అంటే ఇప్పుడు December 2015 ఉంది. I want one more for March 2016. So I'll say attach partition in slice. Yes. What is the new partition you want to create? 2016 dot 0. Next quarter ఇంకో partition add చేసినాను అన్నమాట. Done. Attaching partitioning is done. If I go to what it says, then 2 ఇచ్చినా ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం మారిపోయినాయి బస్. ఎందుకట్లా ఇంకా వైట్ ఇస్ నాట్ యాడింగ్ అంటే ఐ సెడ్ మ్యాక్సిమం పార్టిషన్స్ 4, రైట్? సో అప్పుడేంది Jan 2015 నుంచి మార్చ్ వరకు అట్లా ఎత్తుకున్నాం. 3, 6, 9 and it is extended the last partition to 02, 16. Or I can complete repartition it. I'll say what? Complete repartitioning, initialize, మళ్ళీ సేమ్ స్క్రీన్. నాకు అసలు 15 వద్దు. I'll say what? 2016 మార్చ్ 1. I want to run it immediately and smart. So again, it has become only 3 or max 1, 2, 3. Like this, you can do repartitioning of the cube. Okay. The question is, can I do repartitioning of the cube when there is data? Or can I forget about repartition? Can I partition my cube when there is data first? No. When there is data in the cube, it does not allow me to do partitions. For example, now there is data in this cube, and then I'm trying to select some cal month. I'll try to partition this cube. కొత్త వర్షన్లో అవుతుందా? డేటా ఉన్న అవుతుంది. Even this data it's happening, but actually old version it does not happen when there is data bus. But even though if there is some data and then it is allowing partition, you don't do that directly because it might create some inconsistency with the database. So now logic is, now let's say I give you a cube and I ask you to partition a cube. Then what they do, even though there is a direct flexibility of doing repartitioning here, you still don't do directly. So you always take a backup of the cube and then do reporting. So how will you do this now? So if I give a cube for repartitioning, how will I do that? Already cube has been loaded data from past 5 to 6 years. Now because of query performance, you decide to do partitioning now. Then what I'll do? We'll create a copy cube, take all this data, delete data, partition it, get the data back into this cube. Can I do that way? What illa annanuko or interval discussion etla ante, now creating a copy cube, you're loading all the data into it. Now why do you want to get the data back again? What are the new cube you created? Create partitions in it and load all the data into this cube and then do reporting on it. Logical, and what are the new cube you create partitions and get all the data from the old cube to new cube and start using this cube. Why do you want to get the data back to old cube?
Dependency.
What dependency?
Multi-provider.
Let's say my old cube is already used in 100 multi-providers, then what will I do? Okay, other point. Then let's say my query is already created on the old cube. But can I copy query from one cube to another cube? Yes, I can copy. We can copy. There is a T code called RSZC, where you can copy queries from one cube to. Our discussion, you raise a discussion saying, can I copy queries from one cube to another cube? Yes. All the queries from one cube can be copied to another cube by using the T code RSZC. Okay. Fine. ఇక్కడ నన్ను ఒకడు ఇంటర్వ్యూ భారీగా చేసింది ఈ టాపిక్లో. వాడేమనంటే సరే పార్టిషన్ వాడేమనంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద డిజైన్ టెక్నిక్స్ విల్ యూస్ టు డిజైన్ యువర్ క్యూబ్ అన్నాడు క్వశ్చన్. నేను అవన్నీ చెప్పినాయి 1 to 1, 1 to many అవన్నీ చెప్పి ఇడిచిపెట్టినా. వాడేమనంటే వైల్ డిజైనింగ్ క్యూబ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ వై డోంట్ యూ డిసైడ్ అబౌట్ పార్టిషనింగ్ అని వాడన్నాడు క్వశ్చన్. లోడింగ్ తర్వాత ఎందుకని నువ్వు అంత ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ రేంజ్ కదా ఇది, అట్ ద డిజైనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద క్యూబ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ వై డోంట్ యూ డిసైడ్ అబౌట్ డూయింగ్ పార్టిషనింగ్ అన్నాడు క్వశ్చన్. ఎట్లా డిసైడ్ చేస్తావా క్వరీ డౌన్ ఉందా లేదా అంటే వాడేమంటే ఏముంది, ఫర్గెట్ అబౌట్ క్వరీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఇస్ స్లో ఆర్ నాట్, వై డోంట్ యూ డూ పార్టిషనింగ్ అంటే ఓకే బట్ హౌ విల్ యూ డిసైడ్ వెదర్ యూ వాంట్ రియలీ పార్టిషనింగ్ అన్నాడు. వాడేమన్నట్టు ఆన్సర్, let's say there is a query I am expecting at least one query on the queue where it has got month wise reporting. So when you have particular month, when you create partitions, if you don't create partitions, it will scan through entire table. If you create partitions on each month, it will just read data only from that block and gives it to me. And what? at least if you're expecting one query which reads month-wise data, then that would, at least that query would speed up, right? So decide about partitioning there itself. At the design phase itself, if you decide to have at least one query on the cube which needs month-wise, then do go for partitioning on the month-wise, and that improves your query performance. And what? Do you understand how it is improving? Instead of scanning the entire table, it will scan only that particular block. So it does increase a lot of performance on the query. నేనేమన్నానంటే సరే అబ్బా చేస్తావు సరే ఏ మంత్ నుంచి ఏ మంత్ చేస్తావు అని అడిగింది. ఏమన్నానంటే జనవరి నుంచి డిసెంబర్కి చేసి పెడతాను అండ్ నేనేమన్నంటే సరే జనవరి ఇప్పుడు 2015 జనవరి నుంచి డిసెంబర్కి చేసినావు. ఆఫ్టర్ 5 years what will happen? All the 4 years of data will go into the last block. Then how will you handle this? Actually, in discussion 3.5 ఉన్నప్పుడు all the 4 years of data will go into what? The last block. If that is not becoming huge, even though you create partitions well before the design time, now it's of no use because the last block is becoming big and it's of no use. Boss. ఓకేనా నేను భారీ క్వశ్చన్ వేసాను నేను ఫుల్గా ఉంటుంది వాడు రివర్స్ సార్ నీకు ఆ ప్రాబ్లం అయితే ఏముందిలే అప్పుడు రీపార్టిషనింగ్ లేదు యాక్చువల్ కాన్సెప్ట్ బట్ దానికి సొల్యూషన్ ఏమిచ్చానంటే ఓకే నౌ యూ క్రియేట్ వన్ క్యూ ఫర్ 2015 రైట్ క్రియేట్ 12 యూజ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ 2016 క్రియేట్ వన్ మోర్ క్యూ క్రియేట్ 12 partitions load 2016 data into it. For 2017 create one more cube, create 12 partitions, load that 2017 data into it. And okay na? What atlo vachinadu round. Then it says combine those queues with multiple road, they do reporting. That's one concept. Atlo cheyochu. But you don't have to go even to that now. Now we have flexibility of doing repartitioning the queue. Once the partition created, we are able to change it now with what? Repartitions. Okay na? Fine. Next action. Let me say this.